Sure we're working. There we go. And we'll get things going. Make sure everybody's up here. Okay, we are live. And I say hi to Paul. And we'll see who else joins us here. We'll get going from there, right? So, how are things over in your part of the world, Paul? Okay. Very nice weather. Yeah, well, we're pushing close to 100 again today, 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So, whatever that translates to for you, but it's darned awful hot. It's summertime already, that's for sure. Um, I was doing a little turning before everybody got in here today. So right now it's just you and me. But I was doing a little, I have this piece of elm. I got a whole bunch of pieces of elm actually that are green. And so I was looking over them, and one of them was starting to get a crack in them because the knot is right here. That's where the knot is. And it's also right about here more towards the middle. It's kind of at an angle like this. So I wanted to go ahead and catch it before it was too much of a knot crack, because once those knot cracks come in, it's very hard to erase them. So I thought I would turn this, and I turned this. There's no sanding done to this at all to it just now. What you were seeing was just how sweet this was using just a skew at the end. And I'm not going to really sand it up right now. I was just leaving this on here to kind of show you. When you're turning green wood, this is relatively green wood still. It's only been drying for about 5 weeks. And when Alex comes in here, he's got some pieces of this too. But you can see the crack right here. See, that's the crack that was forming. So I got rid of it mostly on this side. However, it will crack very quickly. In fact, it's already starting to show something just since I turned that about an hour or two ago. I'm seeing a little crack right there. So I'm going to have to treat this, and I'm going to have to get this pressure out of here pretty quickly. So I don't know if we'll do it later on today or if I'll do it tonight or tomorrow, but I've got to relieve the pressure on this and take most of this knot out so that it has a chance to dry without cracking the rest of that bowl, because it's a beautiful little bowl, really nice piece of wood. So that's what I was working on, just so you know. And then I pulled this out. And hello, gentlemen, hello, rest of you. And my dad does woodworking. Oh, cool. Well, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. And please hit that like button, guys, if you would. We're going to be turning 2 new pieces of wood today. But I thought, as people were getting in here, I'd try to show you what was going on with when we turned before. This was turned about 3-4 weeks ago, I guess. And I wanted to turn it green and let it dry. And I sat it in a bucket of shavings to let it dry slowly. And you can see right now, we are right about 11% there. And on the bottom here, we're at about 18%. So there's still a lot of moisture in this. It's still high, but it's getting drier, and it's not cracking. It didn't warp much. It's going to warp a little bit. If you look here, you can see it's just slightly out of shape, but not bad. And if I wanted to hook that up now, I just want to take a quick peek just to see if we hook this up now, what would it do? I think it would still probably hold just fine, and we could probably do some more work on the inside of this bowl. I'm not going to do a real fancy hook. I'm just going to kind of do that and see. Yeah, there's a little work to it. You can see that's my finger, but not much. If we clean up the outside of the bowl, it'd probably be fine. The inside, you can see my finger wobbling there too. So there is some warpage, but not a lot. It can certainly be cleaned up at this point still. And so that's one of the things you watch for. I don't see any cracking going on or anything like that. So this is going to make a very nice bowl. This is another piece of that same tree. We may get to that sometime later also. We'll see. But what we're going to do first today, I've got a big heavy piece of this wood, and I've got a light piece. So I'll ask you guys, which one do you want me to do first? You want me to do the light piece here? Or you want me to do the heavy piece? Which one do you want me to do? I'll just put it up for a vote for the next 10 seconds or so. See who says what. So get your votes in. How many tools do I have? I got a lot of tools. If you're talking about wood turning tools, I've got a few. If you're talking about my wood workshop, I've got about 20 antique wood planes. I've got some tools that go back about 100 plus years, like some distant saws. I've got 6 drills. So yeah, I've got a lot of tools. So let me see here. You want the biggest one first, Paul? Okay, well, since you're the first one in here and you got the vote in, we'll go with the big one. If it doesn't work out, we can always go to something easier, right? So this is a very heavy piece of wood. Okay, so we're going to try as best we can to manage this. And just to show you what I was talking about, there's the planes, and if you look around the shop, you'll see the wall of tools. So yeah, I didn't mean to make you guys seasick or anything, but yeah, there's a lot of tools there, and there's actually a couple videos of my shop if you want to go back and look at them. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this flat one on here for now. It's kind of cool to use the flat tool rest instead of the rounded one. So I'll see if I can get by with that. I'm gonna have to put this mask on. This is gonna make a lot of mess. But while you're watching, please hit the like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed. That way it lets you know when we're here and what we're doing, and everybody can get in on the conversation. What I was really hoping for is to get to 55,000 views today. If we do, we'll be with our $5 million mark. We're that close. I think I can go right about there right now until I start turning. Okay. So we're pretty round. I don't think we're too far off of round, but I'll go ahead and check the round first. Ah, right there. Okay. All right, well, we'll start with that. We'll kind of get the roundness hooked up. And there is a little bit of wobble there, so let's see what we can do. think I'll pull out just a little bit so you can see that a little better. Running that bevel helps a little bit. And take out a little bit. I don't recommend coming in on this side of the bowl. You do this. It would say this is more of an experienced printer, smooth. So don't copy me on this. Still out of balance, but I just wanted to kind of get a feel for where that top is going to be. The top's going to be right about here. There's the crown. This is actually where the pith is. That's the crown, so I'm going to have to come down just a little bit below that to make sure we don't keep getting a crack right there. Okay. And we still got a little bit more rounding to do here, but I think I can adjust this just a little bit now. You always want to be as close to your work as you can be, so. Start taking some of this down. And as we get this more into balance, we'll be able to go a little bit higher in the speed. Okay, you see how dusty that is when I cut it that way? Now watch what happens when I draw the across this way. I get all these nice strands. It's a difference of how the blade is attacking the wood fibers. So right now, it's just very dusty right here because I'm hitting a lot of end grain and a lot of bark. And I'm going to come back here and start arching this just a little bit. You don't usually want to get that extended, but I was going into basically I was just going into the bark, so it really wasn't much resistance. But you don't really want to extend yourself this far over the rest. Okay. What is this? That's part of the question mark. I don't know. These were painted white. If you see this one here, they were painted by the owner of the wood, and when his widow said, "Hey kids, you want some of this wood that was left over from my husband?" We all took some home, but none of it was marked. He didn't mark any of the wood that he painted. And the reason he put the paint on is, of course, to slow down the drying process. So I appreciate the fact that he did that, but I wish he had written on there what kind of wood it was, because we're just guessing. Yeah, that's pretty rough there. It's starting to get a curve to it. That's something. But I got to get past all of this to get in there. So I could take a chisel and mark and cut it off that way, but it's probably just as quick to do it the old-fashioned way here. So. Whatever wood it is, it's hard. I'll say that. It's just not cutting. This is kind of the fun part. This is your man and his tools against the wood. And I'm going to reposition this tool rest. I think we can take the rest of that bottom part out, work on that, and then go back to the center, because I think we're relatively round here. And I think I'm going to put this on, so pardon me for the sound. Okay. Pardon my sound there. Hey, Brent. Good to see you there. All right. Wood. Believe it or not, I sharpened this before we started this. And here's a crack. See, look at this crack. This crack is pouring all the way from here and all the way down here. That crack was not there before. So we got a crack that's forming with the release of pressure. I'm going to have to watch that, because this crack is going to help me through the whole piece. It does. And this would not be a usable bolt. Okay? Did you buy a circular saw? Well, that's up to you if you've got a good use for it. Get that at a good price. I'll tell you one thing. If you live in the U.S., Saturdays there's a lot of yard sales, and I would look around for a saw at a yard sale first. If it were me, I was just starting out. Also, there's Father's Day's coming up. There's a lot of Father's Day sales going on. bang, 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 every time it's going around. That's still bark right there. Okay, let's see if we can get the time to a little bit. We're going to end up with a little bit of this bark still on here, I think, eventually. But right now, I'm trying to get some design to this. A little bit of design so I know where I'm going. Put up the speed a little. We're pretty round, but what's happening is it's hitting that crack every time it comes around. Something there. Pulling on it. Once I flip it straight again, see how that just keeps moving right there. Refuses to flatten out there. It's right there. That's a little spot there. I'm not still over here than it is right here. It just really wants to quit. At least I know what my issue is, okay? Over here. See where we're going here. Still got a lot of that bark. But it's a very, very deep bark cut. this, I'll let you do this. And left. Pretty big pieces coming off there. Did we? See, did I get? We're still working on some of that. Still working on some of that. It's really funky when it hits. It can come right between the grab or come right out. It's real funky. I'm trying to dig into it. We're getting there now. Now I'm trying to get into the wood. Okay. Yes, please, everyone hit the like button. Thank you very much for that. Everyone hit the like button. Let's see if we can get 100 likes today. Looking a little too much there. Shear cut with the gouge. That may not be so bad. I might be able to squeeze that in there. I don't want to go all the way through the bark completely, but I do need to clean this up. So let's clean up the split. Now we've got a shape. Rainy, brand wood. Really, really just pull on it. Okay, so we got roughed out here. I'm still not sure what it is. With this crack's big enough to put a coin into right here. I need to do something to that before we go too far. But let's get the outside cleaned up anyway. So right here, let's see. Surface wall. Get this real hard. It will work. I don't know. Kind of on the light side, so it's not going to work as good as others. But we'll try. Well, that makes a nice fit. That makes a real nice feel for that. Except for right here, of course, it's going to be real rough. But the rest of this is nice and smooth for that. A little bit of evergreen right over here. There's a lot of that. So, a little bit of refinement that needs to be done to this as we go along. Okay, straighten up the bottom. I need to raise this up. There we go. If you're watching, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing. We do offer memberships, but there's no obligation there. Memberships are 99 cents a month. That's it. It's helping raise some of our costs just a little bit. Okay. That is flat. There. Okay. We got a flat surface. The next step is to put a pin in on here. I'm hoping that I can make one that will hold. So this is taking chances. I mean, look at this crack right here. So we're taking some chances here. Right about. Got to go a little bit further out than that. We'll start with that. Have a marker to start with. You don't want to go too deep. But this particular wood, you have to be very careful because it tears. See that? Everything's quite soft. So, you have to be careful. See there? You get tears. Try to make nice cut. Tears in the wood. Make sure it's perfectly flat and even. Okay. So, you can hear me better. That's going to fit in there just fine. Okay. What I do have is a lot of this. So what I'm going to do, with your kind permission, for a second, do kind of get beat up. Taking all this on. It is really dust. It's not soft shavings. That's sawdust. The whole floor is covered already with just the outside of this bowl. Okay, so hi Irina and Eve and who else we got? Oh, hi Mike. Good to see you. Yeah, this is going to be a challenge here. This is a hefty green bowl. In fact, I want to check the measurement on it now. See how green it is. It is not registering. Let me see. Huh. Oh, there we go. 10, 10.3, about 10.3, which is not bad. It means it's had a chance to dry out some. I'm not getting a reading from the side. That's interesting. Let me get a reading from the top here. I'm having trouble getting any kind of a reading from it. But point is, it's about 10%, which is great, 10, 11%, because that's what I would expect for what it's been probably sitting around for 2 or 3 years drying. It turns pretty well. It does have some these mass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little CA glue in these cracks. That one may go all the way through. I'm not sure. So that concerns me a little bit. Inside of that, I think I'm going to use some medium here. Put this in there. And it keeps going down in, so that's good. I'm just going to let it roll down in because wherever it's going down into that hole or into that cut. I think that crack way along here. Like we haven't even yet, so that will take a little bit of time. So I just gotta let that kind of roll down in a little bit. Spot here. I got a left and that one. See, that one's pretty dead. One dead soldier. Okay, comes another soldier. Okay. And I'll be able to check this and down to here. Part nice piece of this whole finish, or it can be my nemesis for this whole process. I don't want it to be a nemesis, so we'll try and make it into something positive. For now, we've got to first make sure it stays secure. Okay. And I'm seeing a little bit of that crack on this side. I'm just going to go ahead and put that on there now. It won't hurt that much because we're going to be going over that anyway. And I'll let this. And then we'll be able to turn it around. Always put your glue back. Oh, one other thing I wanted to do. Always put your glue back in its the refrigerator when you're done with it. Make it last longer. But while I got the opportunity, I'm going to go ahead and put a touch of this right here because we're going to want to reinforce this where I'm going to be putting my chuck. I want it to have some strong wood holding it in. So putting a little bit of CA glue in there, that will help reinforce that wood fiber just a little bit. Hold just a little bit more. So just a little trick. It does work. Not every time, but it does work. Okay. So those are setting and drying. And what do you got going on up here? Somebody's acted. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. If anybody's looking for some real fun turning, check out Mike at the Whacking Shack. He has a fun day this week. Usually does. It usually he's on there for like 3 hours, just doing all sorts of crazy stuff. And Mike has some new toys on the way, so we might be seeing some of that this weekend too. I think, right, Mike? So, okay, I know that people are leaving because there's nothing being turned. So let's get back to cleaning this up and getting ready to turn. Okay, so I'm gonna put my rest back here. Okay, put on the helmet. You stop turning, people stop watching. They don't like to listen. So, okay, so there we are. I'm not gonna use this one. I'm not sure. It's a little different. So this is my shaping uh, tool. I use this for a lot of my curves. It's a scraper, but and I use it because it's really good for just creating nice gradual crease, and it's got a pretty sharp angle to it, so it really works in there good. I'm going to get this edge here a little bit. Good. Man, always got to watch out because I get a little bit of that super glue still, or that CA glue still in there. It's still a little bit wet. Okay. So the rest I can peel off a little bit of sanding. Okay. Oh boy, is that smooth. That feels really nice. The only bumping I'm getting is right here. It's just bumping with the spark. That'll smooth over. That's not a problem. As long as it doesn't create. The problem is that when it happens is when it bumps. What happens here is you bump and it makes this bump up. And as this comes around, it comes back down and it gouges. You end up with little gouges on the other side of the bump. So that's why more speed helps a little bit. I think it's very steady. And don't let it bounce. Keep my hand flat on top of it here. I think we've done that about as much as we need to. Okay. And the bottom is good. So I'm just going to have to do a little bit of sand. So bear with me while I sand, okay? Because it's an essential part of this. Okay. That was a low grit. That was an 80 grit. We're going to go up to a little bit better grit here. And it's looking kind of nice, I gotta say. It's feeling really slick. Good. We'll go up to about a 240. almost done. Don't run out. Stick with us. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's really nice now. Finish on this. Let me turn this off. Okay. I'm going to put a little finish on here. I think I just used the beeswax for now. I don't think this is going to need much. Actually, wash it up. Just want to kind of get a feel for what it's going to look like later on. Nourish the wood a little bit. It'll like this. It'll start sucking it in pretty good. I think it'll be taking on for the suck this in. So, what's going on out there, guys? Need to help you name your new your new lathe. No more Franken lathes. Yeah, you need a name for your new lathe. Is that what you're saying? Well, since it didn't come from Harbor Freight, you should call it Harbor No Prisoners. It's your Harbor No Prisoners lathe. I think that would work real good for it, considering your occupation and everything. But that's just one that comes off the top of my head, Mike. Harbor No Prisoners. Dumpster diving. Well, there you go. But what do you think of that idea? I think it's not bad. That's not bad off the top of my head. You know, I think that's a good idea. That's a good one. It never hurts to have a first and secondary lathe also, so you can have something on there that you're working on while you're working on something else, or for things that you don't want to beat up your nice lathe on. So, uh, yeah, you don't have to tell people you got it out of a dumpster or got it dumpster diving. You could just say, hey, it just fell into my lap. That's always a good phrase. It fell into my lap. Like when the guy gets caught at the bar with a girl sitting on his lap, and the wife comes in and he says, "Well, she just fell into my lap." Uh-huh. And you know how far that gets. You know how far that gets you. Okay. What do you think of the look of this wood now? I'll bring you in for a little bit closer inspection there. That's a pretty piece of wood, isn't it? So that piece of wood that I didn't know what it was. I'm still not quite sure what it is. It could be pecan. It could be a lot of things. No, I don't think from the bark it was pecan, but boy, it is really perplexing. It's not an oak, and it's not not a sequoia, anything like that. But boy, it's pretty wood. I love this color right. So you guys tell me. Anybody have an idea what it would be? Huh? I don't know. Anywho, well, we've done all the damage we can to the outside of this thing. Now we're going to have the hard part. That was the easy part of the turn. That was the easy part. This is still an extremely heavy bowl. So I can tell you right now, this is going to take a long time to get through. I know you guys said, Paul said, do the heavy one. And I said, okay. But just understand, heavy bowls are heavy for a reason. They got a lot of wood in them. Okay, and if you saw my floor right now, you'd be going, damn, how's he ever going to get rid of all that? I mean, it is like a lot. But let's take this off of here. Oops. Take these out. We'll see what we got. As you recall, when if any of you were watching yesterday when I was doing my prep for this, I had to drill holes to get these self-tapping screws to go down in because the wood was so hard, the self-tapping screws could not tap, could not go all the way in. So if that's the case, because it's not going to be an easy task for the gouges either to do this. So we're going to do two things. One, we're probably going to have to sharpen the blade first. I have to sharpen the blade. And the second thing is, we're going to have to pray a lot because if the only thing holding this is about an eighth of an inch of wood on the back side of this thing, we better all be praying when this thing's spinning. I'm going to turn this on real slow and see how it's doing. Oh, it's spinning very true. That's a good sign. That's a very good sign. So I'm glad that it's spinning true. I hope the wood fibers hold because it's going to be a rough going, especially in the beginning here through this part. This is going to be really rough. And we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that goes. But, okay, I'm going to have to try and edge this out real slowly because it's out of whack. If you look at the way it's turning, this is high here, this is low over here. There's a crack here because this is where the core of the wood was. The core is right here. So I've got to slowly get that worked off. So let me get this sharpened. I think I'm going to need it a lot sharpened. Might have to use several different tools here to get this done. This is going to be a project, I can tell you right now. It's not going to be easy. Ah, my wife is learning. Hi, Jim. There you go. I'm going to say hi to my wife. We'll sign autographs later. Okay. Well, it's sharp, I think. And we will go at this monster. We look. Let's see. Let's see if we run this. Let's start with this and we'll go a little faster as we go. I'll just let it sit there. The high spot for this. I don't think I can do it sliding in. It's going very lightly over this first one. Okay. And we do it again. Okay, now you can see how this was the high part, this was the low part. We're still trying to get down to where it's at least even. Okay? So that kind of gives you a visual of what we're trying to do here. So. I probably do need to lower this down just a little bit. Okay. So we're getting there. There we go. Yeah, we're getting there. We just got a little bit lower there. So now we've managed to get this kind of leveled out. There's still a little crown. We can start to actually approach this like it's a regular piece of wood. I tell you, that gets hot. Whew, that is hot. Let's try other double one here just to see how this is doing. Try this one. Now we're looking. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Wanted to see how that crack is coming on. That crack runs all the way to here, and I don't think we get rid of it the entire time. We've got another one possibly in here that we might get. That's I think I can. Now that I got everything equalized, look at there. I can really pick the speed up, and it doesn't even affect it. Wow, that's at nearly 1,000 RPM. It shows you how hard this wood is. It could be some kind of ash or something, I don't know, but it is really, really hard. Oh, that's wild, but that is never made. Whew. That is a loud, loud sound. Okay, we got to the end of where the nut was screwed in. I think we are still got out a few of the screw holes. We still got this big crack right here. Yeah. It's covering everything. The problem here is it's very easy to start getting hypnotized by what you're doing and press too hard. Or to kind of rush it because you have an audience watching. Okay? So when you see all this stuff flying, it looks like Christmas. Christmas in June. I gotta get some of this out of here. I'm covered head to foot myself. Okay, you can see what's on my screen here. Please continue to hit that like button if you haven't already, or double tap your screen. We'd really appreciate it. Show us a little love. That would be nice. Okay. And we are going to, let's see if I've got anybody else ask some questions here. Here, it's possible it could be pure, but the outside was hairy like this. This is the bark. It's hairy, almost like a cedar type bark or something. But there's no smell to it. So I'm not sure. I mean, it's possible to be pear, but I don't think it is pear. But boy, is it hard! It is very hard. does make nice shavings there. This is going to hardly need any sanding when I'm done because it is so hard. Good news is as we get towards the middle, it's going to cut in, so we're going to have to. Sorry for getting in the way a little bit there. Oh, cool. Let me show us what you're doing. This is what my wife is making right now.
It's just going to be decorated and hang on the wall.
Yeah. She's been working on that all day. So always something going on here in the workshop. Okay. Let's see where we are on that crack. Crack's receding just a little bit. It's not quite as thick as it was. And you cut past maybe the worst part of it. Maybe. Okay. I'm going to see something now. We're right in line with this. So I want to make sure that I'm squaring up that edge. I'll square that up a little bit. Out a little bit. Not having effect either. Try this. See, what I'm having a problem with here is this. As you start doing this over and over again, you tend to get a little bit of a curve instead of having that straight edge here that I need to have. A couple ways of going about it. One way. Okay. I got that squared away. Start again. So each successive turn here now is going to be going in that way just a little bit. But very gradually. Okay. I think this is where I'm going to have to sharpen this for a second. Just bear with me while I sharpen it. Go back to it. when you first sharpen, it's really easy to overcut. Get a little bit closer here. Okay. Take another look at things. Another looking. See, we kind of got underneath that crack just a little bit. It's there, but it's receding some, so that helps a lot. Okay, so we're here. We need to start going down that way. We got about that much actually to go. It's going to be at a weird angle, so. I think I'm going to need to have switch rests here. This one is not going to help me on the inside. I think I'm going to have to go to a slightly curved one here. This will allow me to get in there a little bit better. It doesn't let me get all the way out here. So let me see. That, or maybe my S curve. Yeah, maybe my S curve. Always having the right tool makes the job a lot easier. Oh yeah, look at that. Now I can get there. I just need to drop it down. Now I can get right in there. Should be even no problem. Yeah. You see the difference that affords me in skill. Now when we come down here, we can roll it right off. That makes a big difference in getting down in there. So, you like that? Okay, keep commenting. I haven't had any comments for a while. I'd like to know where everyone's watching from. Where are you guys all watching from? That'd be real helpful. see how we're doing. Obviously, need to take a little bit of this ridge out here. We're staying pretty close to the same. Good. Okay. Whew. Man, this is really getting in there. Okay. Now we have to start making some decisions. We are down to about here, which means I've got about this much left to go, but I've got to create my angles as best I can. So that's where you have to be really careful here. So please keep marking stuff in the comment section. I'm seeing comments from us. So please let me know where you guys are from. I'd really appreciate that. Keep the conversation going. Let's see where I'm at. I'm right about there. Yeah, I think I'm in the final cleanup at this point. Let me get my big bowl scraper. We'll use that first. I think a little bit up here at the top. Yeah, that scratching right there, got to get out. Probably have to use a different scraper for that. So that's smooth that some. That's it, although I got to get down here in the corner, so let's see if I can get that corner. There we go. Ah, see there? What we had was a little break in that bark. A little bit of that bark came out and made a little peekaboo hole here. That's okay. It'll just add to the charm of the bowl. Nothing we can do about it. It's just the bark. I probably should have noticed that coloration there. That's my fault. But we got pretty thin here. Yeah. I think we're good overall, though. I think we got a good bowl. So let me sand this out a little bit on the inside. Put some finish on that. We'll call this one done. Put this on for just a second. switch right to the 240. That's all it's going to need. We'll leave it right at that. I'm pretty happy with it. Well, it has that little hole in the side. You can always do something with it. You can always decorate that. You can do a lot of different things with that hole. And maybe we'll do that in another project. But meantime, put some of this Howard's beeswax and orange oil. It's in the description in my description box. I mean, if you're interested in using some of this, if you can't get it locally or whatever, most places you can get it locally. It's not an issue, but in case you're having trouble finding it, there's a description. So, here's that. The outside here too, just because a little excess here. This will soak in. Well, that little tenon we made peeled off good when we turn this monster. And even though it's hard wood, it turned pretty good. I wanted to make kind of a thin bowl. I didn't mean to make it that thin, but I did make a thin bowl for this one. That's how the shape would hold it. Okay. I'm gonna need Okay. What do you guys think of that? Cool. Get this off. Put that down. And let you guys take a look at that. And it came out nice. Except for this peekaboo hole here. We'll have to do something with that. But there's the outside of it. Saw it earlier. The inside. I think that makes for a good bowl. And if my father-in-law's watching, hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Okay. What do you guys think? I don't see any comments here, so I'm assuming that you like it. Nobody's saying anything. Comments kind of went dead. So, okay, let's get the other one out here. Oh yeah. We can type it small. But I am going to have to clean up some of this first. Snap here because there's no room to move. Bring that trash can over here, please. Behind you.
Half a tree.
Man, I don't have a tree came out of that little piece of wood. Oh, man. You would not believe. When you turn a piece of wood, you get about 5 times the volume. Especially on a hard type wood like this one. You got 5 times the volume of the wood that was in the tree itself. Because all that air rate does that all. So look at the pieces of chunk that came off there. Sorry for this, but I have to get this cleaned up or I won't be able to find my tool. I mean, it is literally handfuls and handfuls of sawdust here. Savings. I don't anticipate that from the next one here. I think that's going to be a little bit easier to do. But you never know. You save easy. I mean, that one I thought I was concerned of that crack was going to be the death of our turning, and we made it through. So the key there is, prepare ahead of time. We got a little bit of that glue in there, which I think kind of helps support it a little bit, and we got through the turn. And I know that glue helped with the tenon. Oh man. I'm sorry you're having to listen to do this, but that's just a lot. So, phew. And that was just what I got off the top here. You should see the floor. So am I. I'm covered with it too. Look at this. And I'm dusty. My computer's covered. Everything's covered. Phew. Okay, so for those of you that are still in here, let's get that next piece of wood flying before we lose more people. Like I said today, we were trying to get to 5 million views. We only needed about 44. I'm sorry. We only need about 54,000 views to get there. We're getting close. So I don't know if we got them today. Probably get about half of them today, but by this next week we should hit 5 million views. And we're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. We're at 4,830 or something like that as of this morning. So about 170 to go. So anyone that wants to subscribe, please do. That would really help. The likes also help. So please please help us any way you can. All right. Now, this one, this is going to come flying off. This bark is going to go flying all over the shop. It might even hurt. Just warning you all ahead of time on that. That people could be injured, and that person could be me. Hey, Mims, how you doing? Good to see you in here. You just missed my turning. First turning. We're in here for the second one now. This is pretty dusty, as you can tell. Look at that. Look at the amount of dust coming out of my filter. I was trying not to breathe. Good Lord. It's caked in there. Can't imagine what my lungs would be like. Okay. So, I'm going to try and get through this. Let me double check my phone. My phone's getting a little low on battery, so if I can't get it to charge, we may have to do something here, but I'll see what I can do. Okay? Let's just get this turning. See what we got. I do need to lower my rest. I can see that. Okay. Who goes that part? Okay. I'm going to turn it off first just to see what I'm looking at. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now let's get the flat bottom there first. Okay. So let's see what he got. Okay. Well, that's something. All right. Now I can start going up the side here. Start creating some sort of a pattern for this. Okay. bark. We got this. Might have to do the same thing I did with the other one and kind of carve that out. See how that is coming along. There we go. Now we're doing it. Now I can do it. Okay, what do we put here? I'm taking that. Okay. I can deal with that. And got a little bit of that to take off anyway. So let me catch up here a little bit. Mike is liking stuff, yeah? What is the process called? Hi, I'm from Visalia, California. I'm from Fresno, California. So, Visalia, you're close by, right? Okay. All right, I think I can clean this up now. We'll leave that. That's not a problem. That doesn't be a problem. We can shape up the outside and we'll be okay. So, let's start by shaping up this. There we go. So I'm using a skew. Get a nice flat finish on the end. Oh yeah, that's nice and flat. Perfect. That's perfect. Okay, now I'll get my rounding out and we will scraper, and we will shape these sides just a little bit more. Pick up the speed around 1,000, 1,100, something like that. I might want to use the other one. This one is a little bit on the lighter side. I think it was a little bit heavier. This one goes a little bit more aggressively. That's the curve. Okay. That made nice. That made nice. That's nice. Here, clean that up just a little bit. And then I'm going to work on this right here before we turn it around. See, I still got a low spot and a high spot here, so that's why I was trying to get that kind of cleaned Yeah, I think we got it. Pretty close. Pretty close. Okay. So now I got the outside shape and the inside shape. It's a little rough. I'll take the skew to it. Take my nice curved skew. And I'll clean it up just a little bit. There we go. Oh yeah, that's nice. With a lot of end grain on this, so it's going to be a little bit rough with the end grain, but that's okay. We'll work with that as we go. Get some of this shavings out here. Boy, I'm covered. I'm covered with shavings. Yeah, as far as online goes, you're right. You're just down the street. That's absolutely right. I'm not sure what you mean by what is the process called. Maybe you could explain that a little bit more. I'm not quite sure what you mean. This is called wood turning. I don't know what other. If you're talking about just using the scrapers and what those do have different meanings. So I could go into that a little bit more detail, but if you could please let me know exactly what it is that you're asking for, you probably go to have a little better. So okay, so let's. I'm gonna just give us a quick sanding on the outside. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to do my tenon first. I need to do my tenon before I can see. Got sidetracked there for a little bit. Okay. Just there. There's my center. And down here. Just to establish it. Just to establish something. So I'll go back into the skew here. Let me see how I'm doing here. I am right there, so just a hair more. Sometimes I can eyeball it just right, and sometimes I just a little bit of. That's all I got. Okay. That should work. Yep, that should go right in there. Good. Okay. Good. Well, I'll clean that out just a little bit. We'll sand it and get ready to turn it around. Get that nice and clean. Okay. Good. Now we'll do a little general sand in here. We probably should turn this on again. Try and get some of the dust anyway. Oh wow, that already feels nice. But I do have a lot of ingrain here. So I'm going to go in reverse. A little bit of ingrain in reverse. That helps. Now, go up and rip. Have a little highlight thing working out. A little bit of ingrain. A little bit of ingrain right here. And we'll go up to 240 and then we'll be done. Stick with us. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Okay, I can turn this off. And we can put a little bit of finish on there. This time I think I'm going to use the tung oil. It's a little bit different kind of wood. This is tung oil with the citrus oil mixed in. Look how it just sucked it right in. It disappeared before I even got it wiped. That's how thirsty this wood is. So the other wood was kind of thirsty, but it was dense. This is like, yeah, give me some more. Look at that. It's just sucking it in as fast as I can pour it on here. It's going to take several coats actually before I'm able to finish this off on the outside. But Just wanted you guys to get see a little bit of the wood. So we can kind of see where it's going. Look how thirsty this thing is. It is just sucking it in. Just sucking it in. The nice thing about tung oil is it goes in and it hardens the fibers of the wood. As it dries over, it cures over a course of a couple days. It'll cure and harden the wood fibers and makes them much easier to turn. If you wanted to wait to go do any final turnings on this, you could use that to kind of strengthen everything. I just keep giving it some until it stops sucking in for the moment. Wow. Okay, let me get some on here on the inside. This will also strengthen the tenon. It works as a little bit of a hardener for the tenon, just as well. Wow. Dry as a bone. Pour that in there and let it disappear. Yeah, it's already dry. It's already dry to my finger. I just poured it in on there. Crazy, isn't it? Hey Jim, how you doing? I figured you had a good reason for being out, not on here. You were probably taking care of something with the kids or something. Let's see. Finishing your turning for tomorrow's. Oh, okay, for the farmers market. Yeah. Oh yeah, you had that stuff you had to get done. So I hope you got everything done for that. If you guys haven't been check out Soldier Farms. He's really trying to grow his channel. He's trying to get to 1,000 subscribers there. So please give him a shot if you can. Same with Mike is making stuff. Mike's just plain crazy. So just be aware of that when you go in there. His lives can go in all directions, and don't ever ask him about his Stretch Armstrong. I'm PT for the next 17 weeks. Yeah. Good luck enjoying your vacation now, right? Okay, so I'm not gonna put any more on after this. I think that's enough for now. But you can see what I mean when I say that the wood is thirsty, because we brushed out about 4 coats there, and it just kept sucking it in. And my hand's almost dry now. I'll wipe off the excess here before I take this off. Wipe off the excess. There. Yeah, and it's pretty much dry. Okay, let's take this off. And you can see the wood it's a really pretty piece of wood, and it's very, very hard wood. Again, just like the one we did earlier. Jim, I know you didn't see this earlier, and some of the other people didn't either, so I'll put that out there for everyone to see. But here it is. This is what we turned earlier. Isn't that pretty cool? Now, there's one little concession. This was bark here, and so a little bit of the bark came out as I was cutting through, being real thin. But that's okay, because I think I can actually make that into something later on. So that's what I'm going to do. But in the meantime, this is a really pretty bowl, and I think that one is going to do quite well when I go to sell it. Actually, those holes, you can use them as a crochet. Sell it as a crochet bowl. Put the yarn in there and have a hole for the yarn to come out of. So that's one way of dealing with a hole in your bowl. Another way is just to accept the hole, even make it look, real nice, and just tell people, look, it's just part of the of the wood. It's just an interesting piece of the wood. Just don't pour water in it, which most people aren't putting water into it anyway, so a hole doesn't really keep it from being a nice bowl in a lot of cases. So I hope that helps you guys. Well, I see something here I need to fix. If I can. One of my screws on my chucks, actually a couple screws on my chuck, coming loose. And as I always tell people, you should check your equipment. And actually, it doesn't hurt to take your chuck apart every couple months, clean it out, make sure it's in good working order. But if I had not caught that, eventually that could have caused some real damage either to me or to somebody else in the shop or to my stuff, my wood I'm turning. So always good to double check your equipment. Make sure it is in good working order. Okay? As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a little groove there too. Look at that stuff coming out with my fingernail. Yeah, probably time for me to spend some downtime in the shop, cleaning out my chuck. And I would do a video on it, except that, to be honest, a lot of chucks are different. So how you take apart one chuck is not necessarily how you take apart another. Some are more complicated than others, and you want to really be sure of what you were doing. You may even want to video yourself taking it apart so you know how things came out and how they go back in, because it's a little bit like fixing a car or a washing machine or anything else. You don't want to have parts left over. That's for sure. Okay, so you've been warned. Put it that way. I think I can lift this up just a little bit. Okay. Let's start with that. Okay, guys, I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as I can, because I know my phone is starting to get a little bit low on power. So let's wrap this up. Okay. I'm going to have to raise this up just a little bit. Well, now I got to lower it just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, we can start. See what we're going to start with. Okay, I'll catch up with you.
No, you come back.
Yeah. Okay.
Make sure you're ready.
I will be ready. We've been invited out to a pizza night. One of ours is making homemade pizza. So of course, you never want to be late. Because then all the pizza's gone, right? So, Well, the last one I did with this gouge, I was thinking maybe I'll do this one with the carbide just to see how that does, okay? Let's be careful with it. I need to lower this just a little bit more. There we go. Oop, I didn't like that. That sounded like something coming off the screws. Let's see. Didn't like that sound or feel. Lots of ribbons. I think I just like using the gouge a little bit more. Let's do this first part. But I think I need to sharpen it because it doesn't seem to be grabbing real good. It's taking a lot of abuse going through that wood. It doesn't hurt me. It's not grabbing good, it's not cutting good. You don't want to force it to eventually go with the trim. And just lay it back. Or that by sharpening the blade just a little bit. Please hit that like button. Please get our likes up. I'd like to get to 100. I don't think we will, but I'd like to get to 100. I'd like to get to more subscribers too, if you'd be so kind. There you see the difference between a sharp gouge and the one that was dull. Okay, so we're about a third of the way through right now. I'm going to clean this up. Okay. That's nice and clean. That's turning really nice. We just want to keep that same angle going all the way down to the bottom here. We're about, I would say, roughly halfway, not in depth, but in volume. We're about halfway down. Wow, those curls. That's a lot of curls. Enough for Shirley Temple right there. I think there's no enough for never Shirley Temple. Okay. We're now halfway down, but because we have less to take out now, it goes a lot quicker. That feels nice and solid. Try to get the dust off. We were at 70. Well, I'm sorry. We need to get to 100 likes. I'd like to get to 100 likes. So if you guys can help, please do that. Please help us get to 100 likes. That'd be great. Lots of more comments would be better. What we got in here? Miliano, hi. Yeah, safety is important. Yes, it is. But as they always say, a sharp tool is always safer than a dull tool. And it seems counterintuitive, but a sharp tool, you won't push as hard to cut through something, and you have much more control. A dull tool, you tend to push through it, and that's when you end up getting injuries. One of the things I'm doing as I'm turning this is I'm looking straight down at the angle like this, so I can see the inside and the outside angle at the same time. Make sure that I'm staying true all the way up and down. So I can the nice the angle matches on the inside ends up. Okay, so let me get this cleaned out. Okay, so let me see where I'm at. I am at about, yeah, I gotta just clean that up, I think, is more than anything else. Let me get in here with this. A little bit high there, so I think I can still come down on this one. Okay. That feels really good right there, right up to about here. We still got a solid bottom. We didn't go through the bottom. I think we're in good shape. What do we got saying here? Howdy, amigo. Hey, Alex. Good to see you. And howdy, Mike again, and Alex. And we were busy watching a little of A&W symposium. Oh, AEW symposium. Oh, yeah. Well, if I'm up against that, I can understand. Yeah. Obviously, much more talented people than me doing that symposium. That's for sure. But we do what we can, right? So let me get this sanded down as we're coming up on a kind of getting a little low on our battery there. So let me get this sanded down, and we will finish on this. We'll be saying we finished both bowls today. Yeah, I always forget to turn this on. Boy, my My disc collector up here was just filthy dirty. It was clean when I started. This whole stuff is going to be actually cleaned up. So I'm going to put it in reverse. Nice. About 1100 or so. Feeling any ridges? You don't feel any ridges, and then you put the finish when you go, oh, there's a ridge. So, you always want to double check yourself. Okay, that's all the sanding that needed because it was really in pretty good shape. Okay, here's off. And we can put some finish on this and see what the end looks like, right? Now, you saw me put some of this tin oil on the on the outside. We're going to put some on the inside now. And it's probably going to suck this up just as fast as it did on the outside. Boy, did it take it fast on the outside. Like about 3 or 4 coats. So, there we go. While that is working, I'll put another coat on the outside here. As I put it on, I get all the way around and it's dry again. Boy, it really wants this stuff. That's okay. It'll give it a nicer buffed finish when we're done. It's almost dried inside here too. It smells really good because it has that orange oil in it, so it really smells nice. And that stays with a lot of people. They smell your bowls and they go, "Oh wow, that's really nice," and that kind of helps sell your product also. Isn't it? It's visceral. It's touch. It's smell. I always tell people, please put your hands on the bowls, touch them and feel them, because when they do, that's when you make the sale. It's sort of like looking at a puppy is one thing, but having a puppy in your arms is something else. Once you get a puppy in your arms, you end up adopting it, or a kitten. It's kind of that way with selling bowls and stuff too. You get them in the person's hand, and then the only question is, do they want this one or do they want this other one? And sometimes they end up buying both. So it's really funny. It's just get them in their people's hands, and that's how you make your sales. That's the best tip I can give anybody. So soldier for tomorrow, get them in their hands. That's the big thing. Uh, what is this? I didn't even. I was busy watching Presented to you by the Whacking Shack. The weekend by the week. Okay. So you came from the Whacking Shack and you presented to me. That's fine. Thank you. I appreciate that. Whacking Shack as in Mike the Whacking Shack, right? Hey, Paul, you're still there. It's good to see. And the sticker. Oh, the sticker. Yeah, my sticker, my Whacking Shack sticker. Yes. Well, Whacking Shack. Mike is the purveyor of the Whacking Shack on his channel. So if you want to check him out, you should. In fact, if you go to my description on this video, I have a list of some of the guys that I work with regularly, and he's one of them. So is Soldier here from Jim from Soldier Farms, and a few others. There's Timber Designs, and there's Boondock Builds, and some others in there. So feel free to check those guys out. They are great. I have a few. They're just we kind of hang out together, sort of over the internet. And in fact, last year most of them got together for Ryan's birthday. It was Ryan's birthday this week, so we didn't get to do that this year. I was kind of hoping we would, but everybody's kind of busy. But you never know. We'll see what happens in the future. My birthday's next month, guys. If you want to come out for mine, just saying. But yeah, there's 77 rockets. Ryan is the guy who kind of got us all started communicating together. I was trying to help Ryan. He was learning how to use the lathe a little bit, but he's a good woodworker, but he hadn't used the lathe much, and I kind of started helping him, and then I started helping some other guys. Now, Mike and all the other guys, they're like turning monsters now. They went out and learned a lot on their own. I like to think I had a little bit to do with the start of it. I got the bug in them a little bit. So there we go. This is a nice, clean, quick little bowl. It's stylish. It's not real fancy. Not going to get a big price on it, but we did get a nice, relatively thin edge on it. It's nicely angled on the inside and out to match. Like I said, it's nothing real fancy, but you wanted me to turn both, and this was surprise wood. So I'm sorry. Adjust the camera. Ah, stupid me. I apologize, guys. I apologize. There, adjust the camera. Okay. So there's the bowl. Sorry, I didn't realize I was focusing on that. I must have bumped it. So here's what the bowl looks like now. Okay. It's a nice bowl. It's like I said, it's not going to be real fancy or anything. By the way, it's already dry from all that finish I put on there is already dried. It just sucks it in. So I'm probably going to have to go back and do a couple more coats of that or buff in some wax or something because it just wants it. Anyway, so these are our bowls for today. We got this one cleaned off here, and we got this beautiful one, which some people are saying, we weren't sure what the wood is. I'm not sure what the wood is. I do see this though. I see some rings, a little bit. So I may need to go back and do a little fine sanding to get those rings out because I don't like to have that in my bowls. I like them to be nice and smooth finished on the bottom. So I will probably go back and clean that up just a little bit more. But it's a beautiful bowl. I love the colors. Okay. And that's what our projects were for this week. I hope you liked them. And I hope you guys will come back again to see some of our other videos. We do this every week. And I'm really pushing to get to that 5 million views mark. I don't think we got there today, but we're trying. And I see everybody's leaving now because I stopped turning. It's funny, you're like 100 people, and all of a sudden everybody starts leaving. Before you leave, at least please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. So, as you go out the door, those likes really help. And subscribe if you can. That would always be helpful too. I really appreciate y'all being here. And boy, have I got a lot to clean up. Look at this. My hands are white from the dust. Wow. Okay, guys. Well, thank you very much for being in here. And we'll talk to you later. And we will be live next Friday for sure. But if you're subscribed, you'll find out about our other lives.